In the early days of radio, LABC recognized the potential for new forms of ministry through this relatively new form of media. The church applied for and received a license in 1921. On January 9, 1922, Reverend Dr. Bevan was the first preacher to broadcast a sermon by radio phone to a 35 to 40 mile radius. This was the beginning of the church's WABO radio station, which competed at that time with WHAM and WHEC in the early 1920s. Unfortunately, this new form of ministry was interrupted shortly after it began when the FCC passed new regulations which required that all radio stations hold a commercial license. Broadcast was temporarily disconnected, but an agreement for the operation of the station was struck with the Hickson Electric Company, which in 1927 would fully acquire the license. Here we have an image of Lawrence Hickson at the controls. And once again, another image of Dr. Samuel Bevan in the pulpit. Over the years, station WABO built up a large congregation of radio church listeners. Here we have an image of Reverend Whitney W.S.K. Yarple, Associate Pastor of Lake Avenue Baptist Church, in the pulpit before the microphone of the station WABO that at that time was noted as being owned and operated by the church. After numerous transfers of the license, WABO would eventually become what today is WHEC television station. LABC stayed on the airways throughout the transitions until the early 1950s. As you can see by the use of this newly formed type of media, LABC has always been effective in finding new and interesting ways to share the good news of God's love in this community and beyond.